Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and Kick-Ass, issue number 1. I wonder if just saying that is actually going to take away my monetization. Eh. So anyway, Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. Usually John Romita Jr. does a worse job than this. When he wants to do something cool, he does. He just has to really want it. So he wanted it here because this is good art. This is really good art. I miss when John Romita does good stuff. Jr. Anyway, his father always did good stuff. Anyway, so what do you call it? Here we've got this new girl, Patience. I wasn't sure that this was going to be the new one, but then I saw the cover and obviously it is. So brand new character playing the role, and her name is Patience. She was in the military just 12 weeks before this happened. She was in Afghanistan. She was finishing an 8-year tour of duty. Can't really do an 8-year tour of duty, but just a service tour. So wow, she actually went in for the full 8 years. That's wild, man. I haven't went in for 6. Saying with the option of the 2 extra afterwards. It's always a stretch of 8, but how much of that stretch do you actually serve getting paid while the rest is optional? They can recall you if they need you. So either way, she did a full 8. Cool. So afterwards, she's coming home and she's like, okay, I'm going to use this GI Bill. I'm going to become an engineer. Good girl. And when she gets home, it turns out that her boyfriend, Frankie, he just walked out like 2 days ago. Walked out, left their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like gave them to her mom and dad. He decided to go off with some, I don't know, bimbo. Some blonde bimbo. And it's probably not a real blonde, whatever, it doesn't matter. She's like a nobody. And he's just like, yeah, man, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I don't feel bad about walking out on her and not even taking her calls because she never believed in me. She made me get a job in insurance. Well, you kind of got to cover your keep, brother. I don't know what to tell you. So he's an absolute piece of garbage. And just to make things even worse, leaves her with tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt that she didn't even know about. She had to find out about on her own. So her one friend decides to give her an offer of, hey, come and work at the club. And she's like, yeah, no, I know what happens at the club. They're actually like, gangsters and things like that there. And he's like, oh, you were in your war overseas, your illegal war. She's like, okay, well, you were in your gang, I was in mine. Let's just leave it at that. And I agree. Illegal war? Yes, absolutely. So it's more of an occupation than anything else. I fully agree with the guy in that regard. At the same time, she is disapproving of your work. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, since you do something illegal, I guess it's okay for me to do something illegal. Shut up, man. Don't give me your silly little morals. So she decides she's trying to look at what are some of the things she can do. And I'm telling you what, man, I can totally sympathize with this poor girl because after I got out, I got a job as in a gas station. All right, that's McDonald's and a gas station. I was working 2 full-time jobs, and I was in the gas station the one time. And dude actually comes in, and he's I don't think he was actually an officer. Anyway, he was fairly high rank. I think he was like a platoon sergeant or something. Anyway, he gets out and he sees the way I'm standing and the way I walk as I'm filling up his tank with gas, and he's like, you military? I'm like, former. I just got out. He's like, oh, and so you're pumping gas? I'm like, yeah. He's like, So it's like his way of suggesting I should have re-upped. So, the problem is that when you are really down on your luck and you're just having a hard time reintegrating into society, having a hard time putting your particular skill set to use, like you can't even become a cop because like you're way too violent. You're well overtrained for it. No, no, not interested. You do start thinking about re-enlisting, and that is actually on her list. And the only thing that I think I would have liked to see better in this comic book, the only thing, is if she was sitting there looking at that option for a while, and then a couple panels later or so, then she finally crosses it out. Like she was really thinking about it, because that is a seriously down in your luck kind of thing when you're thinking about re-enlisting because it's hard to make ends meet. That's horrible. Anyway, all that being said, she decides I should rob a bank, but not just any bank. The bad guys. I'm going to rob the club. Dang it. It's not necessarily the club itself. It's the guy who owns the club and does all the other drug selling. I think his name is Heisenberg. He wears this cool hat. No, it's not him. That would be cool, though. So she goes to try and rob him, and she immediately gets captured. She's got little tiny eskrima sticks. They're like this big. They're so cute. Like, what's she gonna do with that? Like, play drums? I don't know. Anyway, so she gets captured without anything. Like, she goes in there without any guns and gets brought in. And there's like 4 or 5 of them around there, and they're huge. And they're talking about beating up on her and whatnot. Wrong answer. They totally let their guard down. And military people think that we only know how to shoot. So, anyways, she showed them that's not the case, and she put a thorough whooping on these guys because they were all close quarters to her. Their guns completely ineffective at this point. So she puts a beating on them and says to the main guy, "Hey, put all the money in the bag," just like as if she were robbing a bank. This was a fantastic first issue. And the thing that I'm most upset about with this issue is that there's only going to be 6 of them. So that, and plus Hit Girl is supposed to be like 4 issues of Hit Girl coming up. I may check that out. I did not read the second volume of Kick-Ass. I only read the first volume, and now I'm reading this one, and I'm genuinely enjoying it. I'm giving this comic book an A. This was really good. It's nice and thick, very hefty, and a whole bunch of good reading. And the main thing about this book, when you get to the end, is you're just dying for more. So, absolute great book. I definitely recommend it. Guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed.